In the ministry, what I have found over 23 years as senior pastor is the idea and the fact that many times in people that work in the secular world, they're able to go to work at 7 in the morning and they finish at 5 and they go home and they can leave their job, they can leave the difficulties, they can leave the challenges for the most part, and then return to it, and come the weekends they have a couple of days down. In the ministry, as a full-time pastor, that's much different, because when you take the call from God, the call that God places in your heart is a call that's 24/7. It's something that's always there.
I am never any place where I'm not pastor. I mean, even when I play golf and I go by myself, and sooner or later they're going to find out. They're going to ask me, "What do you do for a living?" I am always in a glass house where people are watching how you live, what you do, what you say, how you react, how you respond. There is a physical toll that ministry takes that ministers, I think, to a large degree, tend to underestimate the toll that ministry takes upon them. And yet, if you ask their spouses, they would tell you very candidly, I'm sure, about the toll that ministry takes on their spouse. And a lot of times that's probably because it's easier to talk about the toll that it takes on someone else than it is upon yourself.
I've had more than one experience of leading churches through change or whatever, and every single one of them that I went through, I had some physical reaction. It was crazy. When I changed pastorates, I had physical reaction. Ended up going to see the doctor and saying, well, check me out, what's going on here? And just ended up having the doctor tell me it's stress. That's all that's happening. And I thought I was okay. So pastors may say they're okay. Everything's fine. But you need to be close in your support of them in order to really nurture them. They need nurture as much as they nurture the church.
But how do you walk into an emergency room with a family, a mom and a dad, and their 16-year-old is laying on the table and is brain dead because they were in an accident? I mean, how do you prepare for that? You don't prepare for that. Those kinds of things happen. They don't happen every day, but there are times where you're dealing with people who are in critical emotional crisis, and you never know. I never know when my cell phone rings. I never know what that response is going to be. When I'm at home and the phone rings, when the phone rings late at night or early in the morning or in the middle of the night, you don't know what's going to be on the other side of that phone call.
Sitting down to dinner with my family, and the phone rings. You know, some people let the phone answering machine get it, but when the phone rings and it's someone in your congregation, you feel compelled to answer that phone call. And so there's interruptions during family time. There have been times during the holidays that I've responded to the needs of the church, leaving my family during times of Christmas or holiday celebrations. And so really that ministry is just a continual thing.
For me, I have chosen to have what I call an open door policy, and that is that my door is open. So when I'm in the office, even though I may be studying or whatever else, if someone comes to the church, someone comes into the office and needs to see the pastor, I'm available. That's just how I operate. But what that winds up doing in some cases, there have been days and at times even weeks where I have had not a planned appointment, but interruption after interruption after interruption. Quite honestly, you never know when the interruption is God's appointment, and that's that's why I allow that, because there is this aspect. I could set my schedule and I could work my schedule, but God may want to get my attention through and or have me involved in someone's life at a crucial time. And if I'm studying right now and I can't be disturbed, I may miss that opportunity. And I have found I will take the imposition upon myself so as to leave myself open to what God wants to do.
I lived for a long time with what people call the Messiah syndrome, where I really had a sense that I had to fix people. I had to fix their problems. I had to make it all better for them. And it took me a while to realize that I was the instrument of God, not necessarily the one to do the healing. That was His job.
That we have this treasure in earthen vessels, jars of clay, to show that the power is not from us, but from God. It is God's power that enables us to deal with those crises and deal with them with grace and dignity and love and compassion for people.